Hello, this is Fritz-Ay Says, and welcome back to Glory Hounds. I haven't done this in a while, but I'm feeling the itch, and I'm gonna do a little bit of recording again. So, last we left off, Alex was kind of workshopping his outfit a little bit with Milo, so we'll see how it goes. He's about to do a little bit of detective work, and it's inviting along a friend. So let's get going. The Han is a mess. I knew Willem would be preparing for the anniversary, but I had no idea it'd be this much of a war zone. There's flags and empty balloons all over the place, with Lou and Willem standing together at the heart of the chaos. Hey there, love what you've done with the place.
Al, just the bloke I wanted to see. I need someone with lips to give me a blow.
Lips?
He keeps popping the balloons.
They weren't made for sharp beaks. Discrimination, I say.
I see. I'd be happy to help you out later if that's okay. I already made some plans.
Right. Lou did tell me you were headed somewhere. Better be someplace safe. The whole district's in a tizzy after what happened at Mrs. De Bruin's place. Saltwater Syndicate's been causing a whole bunch of problems lately, they have.
You don't know the half of it.
Yeah, but isn't it mostly big heists? Robbing an old lady doesn't seem like that kind of thing.
I'm just glad she's okay.
She's the guest of honor at the party tomorrow.
Guest of honor, huh? Fancy. I thought you'd put on the Mother Hen act and call it a day.
Mother Hen? Shite. I have to see if the dress still fits.
He runs off into the storage room while Lou laughs.
Well, be away for a bit.
Alright. But if this corset rips, it's because you wouldn't help me put it on. I'll put it on your tab.
Lou and I get off at the tram stop near the art gallery. It's a majestic building sandwiched between rows of fancy townhouses that are all at least 150 years old. Some are still a little slanted. Rumor has it, a distant relative of the Batavian royal family used to live in one of them until recently. My companion has assured me, however, that it's just a ruse to draw more people to the area. No doubt to spend money at all the fancy brand stores. I'm sure they've researched the matter at length to come to that conclusion, so I'm not going to question it. Even as we're walking, they're scrolling through the Optigot's website, no doubt checking out what they have on display.
I have to say, Al, I'm surprised you of all people would want to go to the art gallery.
Your dinosaur speech last week really has opened my eyes, so I'm trying to be more mature.
Really now?
No, I ran into the curator of the gallery last week. Quite literally. She gave me tickets and said I should go check it out. In all honesty, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little curious about the Money Talks gown Fenna mentioned. Besides, if I'm gonna be old, I can at least pretend to be cultured like you.
But isn't it closed right now? Website says they're doing some renovations.
Oh, she gave me, special access tickets?
Wow, look at you. Making friends in high places, huh?
You could say that. I better not tell him I met the CEO, too. That would be all of the internet in minutes.
A lucky bastard. The most expensive thing I've ever gotten for free was a sample at the perfume counter. They wave their hand, closing the holographic screen in front of them as we near the pedestrian crossing. While we wait for the light to turn green next to a heavily made up-to-pier lady, Lou finally turns to me. I wasn't gonna bring it up, but how are you holding up, Al? You know, with the job situation? I was hoping to help you look for something new. I haven't seen you at the Han, and we barely even texted. Got caught up with the kids myself, too. I guess I kind of did leave in a hurry after our little night out. Sorry, I've been recovering from That Fish Ain't My Mother. It left a really big impression. I think that one review was putting it lightly, to be honest. I don't think I can ever unsee that scene where the lady gives birth to singing fish eggs. What did I tell you? Cult classic. True. Only a cult could appreciate that kind of imagery. Really, though, I've been doing great. Already got something new, I think. Just got through my orientation earlier this week. That's fast. What's the gig? I can feel myself sweating a little. Quick, Alex, make something up. I'm working as a cleaner. Clean things? My eyes meet Lou's for the briefest of moments just to see if they're buying it. Clean what? Houses? Streets? Crime scenes? Shit. I know I should have prepared a more convincing story ahead of time. Get it together. You know they can smell fear. It's a private, residential thing. Look, the lights turn green. We should walk now. Don't want to keep the cars waiting. I hurriedly waddle down the crossing. Lou quirks an eyebrow at me, but follows anyway. You're not ashamed, are you? Ah, there it is. My golden ticket. I slow down my pace enough for Lou to catch up. I kind of took this new job out of desperation. It's not exactly the kind of career move you shout from the rooftops. Lou puts their paw on my shoulder. Being a cleaner is a perfectly normal profession. My cousin's friend's uncle's girlfriend's neighbor, former lover, makes a fortune off of it. Or are you cleaning, like, sex stores or something? No sex stores, just houses. Even if you were, there's no shame in it. I'm glad you found something. Thanks, Lou. Someday I'll tell him the whole truth. For now, half of one will do. Not that they'd ever believe me. Hell, I'd have trouble believing it myself. So this is the Optigot. It's even bigger on the inside with a vastly more modern decor than I'd pictured when I heard the words art gallery. I was expecting stuffy dark rooms with snobs scoffing at paintings, but this place is open, well lit, immaculately clean, and smells like mint and flowers. There's so much on display here, I don't even know where to look. Judging by the expression on their face, I think Lou feels the same. Still, I can't let down my guard. Lots of stuff means a lot of potential targets for the syndicate. Look at all these works, Alex. Just one of those paintings costs more than we'll ever see in our entire lives. I don't know whether that's impressive or depressing, but you're probably right. Though with my new job, I might be able to pay off one in 5 lifetimes instead of 10. Oh, I've seen an article about that one. And that one was in a video. That one's just a blank canvas. It's not just a blank canvas, Alex. Art always has meaning behind it. Intent. It's all about how you perceive it. Maybe the canvas represents a certain kind of emptiness the artist felt. A lack of passion. Oh no. I think Lou's already started breathing in the paint fumes. That's just a canvas we leaved out for the children to practice on. Fenna comes walking over to us, a little clipboard in hand, looking as refined and regal as ever. You never guessed she was in a crisis of any sort. Lou's eyes flicked between me and her, muzzle parted slightly. Hello, Miss Fenna. It's a pleasure seeing you again, Mrs. DeRoy. And look, you've managed to remain on your feet this time. The Sphinx cat nudges me with her elbow. Are you going to introduce me, or...? Oh, Fenna, this is my friend Lou. They're a big fan. Lou, this is Fenna. The curator, right? Yes, indeed. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You must have your paws full. This place is huge. It's quite the responsibility, yes, but it's one I happily bear. The arts are as important to me as living and breathing. I guess eating and sleeping aren't exactly priorities for her. It's a joy to be able to share that passion with the world. Lou mutters under their breath. I bet it makes you a pretty penny, too. Lou. Now, the art you see here has all been graciously donated to us by lovely artists from all over the world. I take it you want to see the Money Talks gown. It is considered the pride of our collection, after all. I'm dying to take a closer look. That is technically what I'm here for, but if that thing gets stolen, I'll probably be out of a job. Again. I'm more interested in the Van Houwelink myself. Ah, I can imagine. We did have Finn on loan from the royal family, after all. Could you tell me where we can find it? It's no longer in our collection as of this week, I'm afraid. You're kidding me. Why? Our backers deemed it not interesting enough for the general public anymore. According to them, guests these days are looking for excitement, to be dazzled. And supposedly there's little excitement to be found in a painting from the 1800s. And you're cool with that? Fenna looks away in the direction of the Money Talks gown. There's a kernel of truth in their opinion, to be sure. It's important we keep funds and interest up. A portion of our earnings goes to charity, though far less than I'd personally prefer. What kind of charities do you guys support? This month, we're supporting the Foundation for Anglerfish with Dim Lights. Never heard of that one. Which is why it's a matter deserving of more attention. What are you gonna do? Buy them all flashlights? Lou, would you mind if I borrowed Alex for a little while? We won't be long. Oh, sure. I'll go check out the statues and sculptures in the meantime. They say that so confidently, but the look in their face only spells confusion. Don't go checking out that gown thing without me, you hear? I wouldn't dare. They definitely would. I wave at them as Fenna beckons me around the corner and into the hallway. We pass a janitor wearing a fishbowl helmet who gives us a bit of an odd look. It makes me uncomfortable. The art on display further down the hall is very bold, let's just say that. The canvases look less like someone painting on them and more like someone threw up on them. If I'd known messy stains like this went for millions, I'd sell them at Max's Laundry. The Garden of Pleasure and Sin. Orado Melin, 1767. Ah! That just about gave me a heart attack. Following his departure from Batavia in 1760, Old Melin's environs were not the only thing that changed. The Garden of Pleasure and Sin was his bold first step into a new style, and is widely regarded as his magnum opus today. The brushstrokes represent... How long is this thing gonna go for? Oh, this is just our new state-of-the-art audio tour. There's sensors behind the paintings that get triggered as you walk past. It's quite a delight, really. In what universe would anyone find that delightful? The impeccable craftsmanship is further illustrated by his creative use of what some sources say was his own blood. It's very informative. You think so? I've had the pleasure of providing some of the audio myself. But that is not why I brought you here. She looks left, then right, then pushes her glasses up her snout. We've closed up for the general public today, but there's been still no sign of the Saltwater Syndicate. Maybe it was a prank after all. I find that hard to believe. As long as I'm still getting paid, I'm happy. She takes a calling card from earlier out of her purse. After what Mimi said regarding its potential authenticity, or lack thereof, I was rather curious myself. So I phoned a friend who just happens to have access to the evidence archives at the local police station. Is that even legal? How did she get friends like that in the first place? The handwriting matches the one on the calling card sent to Mr. Ahab's previous victims lately. I shrug. It could still be fake. I forged my parents' signatures to get out of school and stuff all the time when I was a kid. I was pretty good at it, too. Of course, I also got in trouble for it more times than I can count. Mr. Deroy, I'm a curator working for an art gallery. We deal with works that are worth thousands, if not millions, every day. If there's anything I'm good at, it's spotting a forgery. They will be coming. Not a single establishment that was sent a card like this was left unscathed. Is there anything else you could tell me about the syndicate? Only what was in the papers. That'll do. I don't really read the papers. Who needs them with a never-ending gossip machine like Lou around? Supposedly, the Saltwater Syndicate engaged in heists, thievery, and plain old privateering, the likes of which haven't been seen in Batavia in a long time. I didn't know they were so organized. I was expecting silly pirates, not the fish mafia. Well, I mean, the Dawn Hound called them a little crew. That's partly true. Their numbers aren't exactly what one would call large, even though their leader most certainly is. However, they make up for it in efficiency and cunning, which is why I called your employer. I cannot risk a single item being stolen or damaged. I trust you understand. We might have a state-of-the-art alarm systems, but so did all the other targets. And I'm supposed to prevent this heist all by my lonesome? No pressure. I'm new at this, but I'll do what I can. If I see anything off, I'll call for backup. It's the only way I can handle this, really. You're starting to sound like a real hero, Mr. Duskhound. And with Mr. Dawnhound and Mimi for backup, you'll absolutely need Fret. Why do you keep calling him Mimi? And how are you getting away with it in the first place? Oh, that? I've had the pleasure of getting to know Mr. Drozdov many years ago at the Shipperberg's Tea Academy. An academy for tea making? Learning how to brew the perfect cup takes time and effort, Mr. Deroy. I wonder if this means Willem went to some sort of coffee academy. I know at first glance Mimi doesn't seem like the kind of man to frequent such a place. Fenna is practically bouncing with delight. But he has quite the delicate side, as I'm sure you're aware. Can't say that I am. As far as I can tell, he's about as delicate as a steamroller. I think being the only man in the class caught him a bit off guard. Flustered as he was, he stuttered when he tried to introduce himself. We simply could not resist the urge to make a lovely nickname out of it. She giggles and smiles as she says it. Are we talking about the same Milo? You should ask him about it. He ended up being the best in the class in the end. I'll consider it if I ever get tired of my arms being attached to my body. For my own safety, I think I'll take your word for it. I suppose I'd best get to scouting out the place. I know you'll be working, but I hope you'll enjoy the art on display as well. I'll give it a good look-see. Thanks. I'm the one who should be thanking you. I appreciate all you're doing, Mr. Leroy. I have faith in you. She smiles, even though my nerves refuse to let me. I try to look her in the eye and smile back. I got this. I don't. What would Raoul say in this situation? Have no fear, citizen. Duskhound is on the case. She claps her hands together in excitement. Splendid! Absolutely marvelous! Though may I suggest working on your poses a little? You seem a bit stiff. Probably because of the bruises I sustained wrestling a deadly butler for hours. Still, she seems convinced enough, waving a hand at me as she walks off. While some called him a witch, modern scholars believed his style was influenced by his peers, who used their own blood to... Right, I better go. Alright, mission. Recon start. I say that, but I don't really know what I'm looking for. If I was running a motley crew of art thieves with a pirate fetish, what would I tell them to steal and how would I prepare? If Max were here, I'm sure he'd tell me how they did it in the Phantom Thief Casino. But he's not, so I'll have to leave it up to the whims of fate. I suppose I'd want to know the lay of the land first. Let's start there. The gallery has 2 main public floors with actual works of art. There's a skylight above the atrium. Lots of hallways leading to different exhibits. This would be the perfect place for a dramatic exit. I picture myself, loot secured, busting through the windows and vanishing into the night sky without a trace. But I doubt the Syndicate would be dumb enough to try something like that conspicuous. Unless making my job easier is part of their code. The second floor is basically a loft with a clear view of everything else. Another janitor, a parrot with brightly colored feathers, appears to be doing a sweep up there. With this many janitors around, it'd be hard to be stealthy. He's looking at me rather intently. I suppose it's unusual for there to be that many people in here after closing. I decide to check for the back entrances and emergency exits. Along the way, I scan the various paintings, sculptures, and other art pieces on display. Some of it's even interactive. I have absolutely no how to tell the priceless from the worthless. But since the Syndicate declared their heist so brazenly, maybe they left some clues as to what they're aiming to steal other than the Money Talks gown. Whoa, this one's huge. I've never seen a statue quite like this before. Big and wide and buff, and it smells of tropical fruits. I'm compelled to give it a poke.
I'm no statue, laddie, but I'm flattered all the same.
It talks? I look up at the huge whale. Sure enough, he's breathing, blinking, smirking. And almost twice my height. This man could crush me with a finger. I don't know whether that conclusion terrifies me or turns me on. Sorry. I'm sorry for poking you.
'Tis as well you did, boyo. I nearly stepped on you.
Please do.
Ha! You should see the look on your face.
I'm sorry. I don't often get to meet...
whales.
I stop myself before I say anything bad.
Pardon me for saying this, lad, but... don't you know we closed early today? You aren't supposed to be here.
Oh, we're special guests of Fennis. Sir. I look up at him, but I can barely see past those pecs. Did those even qualify as pecs anymore? They're freaking mountains. In here, I thought Raoul and Milo were buff.
Mistress Fenna never said anything about guests.
She didn't tell me either. Who are you?
I be the head janitor of this here gallery.
You're doing a good job. I haven't seen a speck of dust since I walked in here.
Right you are. And I intend to keep it that way, sonny. 'Tis my job to clean up and haul all out rubbish that don't belong here. So let me ask again, lad. What are ye doing here?
Sounds like a threat, but he has a whale of a smile plastered on his face. I hope he doesn't think I'm behind the planned heist, even if he knows anything about it. I should ask. Pumping folks for intel is what they do in detective shows, right? Just gotta find an easy in. Oh, I'm just an art lover, I swear. There's a lot of neat stuff on display here. Has anyone ever tried to... I stop, realizing that only makes me sound weird and suspicious.
Nick it.
He laughs, voice so loud it seems to shake the very hall we're in.
It's going to be quiet to the hall, and no mistake. But no ordinary thief would think to rob a place like this. Security's tighter than the Queen's undergarments. And just as pretty.
Not even the Saltwater Syndicate. The whale shudders slightly, but with his massive size, I can practically feel the floor vibrate.
Are ye daft, lad? The Saltwater Syndicate? That be no name to use lightly. Fenna told you about that card that got them here in the mail, then?
So he does know. You sound like you know them.
Know them? Aye, lad, know them I do. They're a nasty sort, and he'd be wise not to cross them. Folks like those don't mess around. You can get hurt or worse.
I thought you said no thief worth his salt would rob this place like this.
They're no ordinary thieves, laddie. Take it from me. You'll want to be out of here as fast as your cute little wee legs can carry ye.
Cute, huh? He chuckles.
As a wee button. Now, if you excuse me, I got myself a little mess to clean up with my subordinates. I'll trust you'll be finding the exit on your own.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I will. He takes a knee, and I can finally look into his eyes. His big, blue, beautiful eyes.
Grand, me boy, grand.
He puts a big hand on my shoulder.
If you're still out and about town at, say, 11 tonight, Mayhaps we could get us a little something to drink at a local pub.
You mean, like a date? God, usually I'm the one asking people out. This guy's got me beat. I reach behind me to stop my wagging tail.
A date? And a party to celebrate a job well done.
Sure, I'd love to take you on a date. I mean, I know a good place.
Aye, a grand idea that.
He grabs a piece of paper out of his pocket and hands me it. A phone number is written down on it. Did he just carry these around all day waiting for people to take them? I'm not complaining.
See ya, laddie. Don't let the sharks bite you in the bum.
He turns around the corner, giving me a good view of his backside. This gig is shaping out better than I thought it would. Though it's going to be a little difficult to focus now. I should probably head back and meet up with Lou. I find them sitting on a bench in the main hall.
There you are. What took you so long?
Sorry, she was just telling me where the gift shop was.
You mean the really obvious one near the exit they all but corral you through? The one that's not even open right now?
Honestly, maybe I should just start telling the truth at this point. I'd make myself look like less of a fool. Right, that one. Oh, darn. I was really hoping to buy some merch. Fiddlesticks and all that.
You alright?
Never been better.
Really? Because you're really sweaty and you keep looking over your shoulder.
Oh, if only you knew. So, how were the statues?
Oh, you missed a bunch. There's stuff here dating back to, like, the Middle Ages. Very fancy. And there's all these golden chandeliers and necklaces. I'm pretty sure if you melted them all down, you could make a bigger statue than the one in City Hall.
You must be in your element, then.
I'm in Nirvana.
I might as well ask, right?
Glad you're having fun.
You haven't seen or heard anything weird, then?
I'm looking at you right now.
They grin. No, I mean weird.
Who's asking?
Fenna said there were some rowdy tourists walking around.
This is Shippersburg, Alex. There's rowdy tourists everywhere.
Especially rowdy.
Oh. Well, there was one thing I noticed. No tourists, but I've seen a couple janitors going around.
They shake their head.
Nah, it's probably nothing.
Janitors?
Just something I spotted when I was walking around. There's quite a few of them.
So they noticed too.
At first I was like, okay, at least they're cleaning the place. But then I went to the bathroom for a bit. And when I got back, they were cleaning the same spot for the third time. Also,
they point at the Money Talks gown at the center of the large room we're in. There's a horned chameleon standing next to it dressed in black. Even the color of his scales matches. That's a nasty looking scowl on his face.
it took you this long to get to my grand entrance?
Hey, don't butt in on my story.
Can we please just fight him?
I am inclined to agree.
Not you too.
I would rather not miss the episode of Anaklados de Amor tonight. Neither would I. Get to the point already.
As I was saying, like I said before, there's a nasty looking scowl on his face.
Is he staff? That guy's been standing there for a solid 10 minutes. I know it's the centerpiece of the collection, but geez.
Also, Have you looked at the gown? I swear it looks different in the photos. Their whispering seems to catch the horned chameleon's attention, who somehow managed to wriggle his hands into his pocket and scampers off into the hallway, where I spot another janitor waiting. The two exchange words before the janitor looks in our direction. My blood goes cold as I recognize the jacket he's wearing. I can smell a hint of the spicy sauce from all the way over here, too. That's the Barracuda. Ishmael. So that card wasn't fake. They're already here. He pulls a radio out of his jacket and talks into it, maintaining eye contact with me. He's just far enough away that I can't hear what he's saying. Then he starts walking my way. Shit. Shit. That means the big dude I saw earlier must be... Everything okay, Alex? We need to find somewhere to hide, and quick. What? Just listen to what I say, okay? You're serious, aren't you? Deadly, come on. I break out into a sprint as the other janitors come out of the other hallways. It's like a cleaning convention in here. I take Lou by the wrist and lead them down a corridor. I gotta find some place where they'll be safe, where no one will ever look. Right. The politicians through the Ages exhibit. I finally come to a stop next to a bust of a guy with the sourest expression I've ever seen. This place is about to get robbed. One of those janitors was the dude from the store the other day. You mean the guy that tried to rob Mrs. De Bruin? Yeah, it's the Saltwater Syndicate. So we're like stuck in here with a gang of thieves? I'll call for help. I'll take care of it. You stay here. Don't be stupid, Al. You can't take on robbers on your own. I might not be able to, but I know someone who is. If you see Fenna, tell her I'm on it. I give them a pat on the back and head deeper into the gallery. You know splitting up usually gets people killed in the horror movies, right? Idiot. I didn't think the Syndicate would be making their move this soon. I run out of the exhibit. We'll be safe, I hope, but the Syndicate is still on my tail. I need to shake them off and find a place where I can call Raoul and Milo. They'll know what to do for sure. Hey, Spotty! Stop right there, you land-lubbing dog! I still got a score to settle with ya! I enter the nearest bathroom and barricade the door with some trash can. Footsteps sounds just outside the door. Looks like they didn't see me go in here. That should buy me some extra time. It's surprisingly clean for a public space. Guess the janitors must have been in here too. As awkward as it is, I quickly check the stalls to make sure no one else is around. I slip into the last one and close the door as quietly as I can. I've been wearing the earpiece Milo gave me this entire time. What did he say again? Just flip the switch to establish the connection, then push to talk? I sit down to steady my nerves. This toilet seat is freezing cold. Hello? What do they usually say in the movies? Do you copy? Over. A line crackles, followed by a familiar voice. Dust count. What is the current status? Milo's voice comes in loud and clear. Emphasis on loud. I almost fall right off the toilet seat. Dust sound requesting immediate backup. Fish are in the net. I say, screw this. They're here. They're pretending to be staff. Milo is quiet for a moment. Then I hear an eerie chuckle. Ingenious approach. Most likely infiltrated before gallery even opened. We can give them a big pat on the back once I'm out of the gallery currently crawling with thieves.
You actually called just in time, Spot. I've got something with your name on it. Well, it doesn't actually have your name on it yet. Over. Do you want your name on it? Over.
I'm stuck here. They'll see me if I try to leave.
Oh, that? Hang on. Give me 1 moment. Over. Master Brevard, please don't.
The line crackles, and I hear something click in place behind me. When I take a look, a section of the tiles seems to be shaking. I'm moving too. The toilet is moving. What did you do?
Hold on tight. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
As if on cue, the wall suddenly lowers into the ground. I have a little time to comprehend it before the toilet flips onto its back, tossing me into a black void. There's a surface below me, some sort of slide, but it's an almost vertical drop. I scream as loud as my lungs let me. Is this going to happen every time? I turn and brace myself. I don't want to break my neck when I hit the ground. And hit the ground I do. Hard. Oh! Even the softness of the mat is like a punch to the gut. I struggle to get my feet. When I do, I realize my pants are as wet as can be. Of course, toilet water. Once my utter confusion subsides by the tiniest amount, I take a look around. I'm back in the underground computer room below Raoul's mansion. And there's the Rottweiler looming over me as I stagger to my feet.
So I've decided not to put your name on it for now, but I was thinking we could always embroider it later. What do you think?
I was at the art gallery. How'd I end up here?
Secret passageway. Pretty nifty, huh?
Secret passageway? Into a bathroom? Nifty is not the word I'd use. I'm soaked. I shake my leg, but all that does is get it on my new shoes. Yuck. Why'd you bring me back here? We can't just leave them. They'll rob the place blind. I'm worried about Lou, too. Are they safe? God, if the Syndicate doesn't kick my ass, Lou certainly will.
Master Brevard pressed the button before I could stop him.
We have to get back right now.
Of course. But don't think you can stop a robbery just like that, do you? Lights!
He claps his hand and the lights dim.
Drum roll!
He claps his hands again, and when the lights come back on, a mannequin has risen from the floor below.
Biela Sestasa. Now, I ran into a few problems deciphering your blueprints. You have a very unique sense of style. But in the end, I think I succeeded in marrying functionality and comfort to make a product worthy of carrying the Brevard name. It's light, mostly bulletproof, easy to clean, and most importantly, the suit can be worn underneath almost any item of clothing.
I tilt my head. It's very flashy.
I've outfitted it with heating and cooling elements too, so it should be able to withstand the elements. Let's see, what else? Tracking dots, the magnets in your boots.
Magnets?
And if you click your heels a couple times, you can stick to the walls.
You did all of that in what, 2 hours? Maybe I really was underselling him.
That's not all.
Raoul snaps his fingers and a second platform rises from the ground.
Is that a gun?
Yes and no. This is a state-of-the-art grappling gun, made for scaling buildings and covering large amounts of distance in a jiffy.
You mean like He holds a paw up to my mouth.
Stop right there. We don't want any copyright issues.
Right. I lower his hand.
I haven't taken it out for a test drive yet, but it should work just fine for someone like you.
Someone like me? What's that supposed to mean?
Simple tool for simple man.
Rude.
Simple is not always negative quality.
Don't worry. I ran careful calculations so it won't rip your arm out of your socket or anything like that.
It's safe to use, right?
Raoul? According to my calculations, yes.
I thought you were a 4x Innovator of the Year winner.
I can't exactly go around testing grappling hooks.
Oh, but I can?
There is little time to be worrying, yes? I'd better vote save gallery.
You're absolutely right.
I don't know if he's saying that because he agrees or he wants to shut me up.
You're ready to suit up, Dusthound? Time's a-wasted.
I ignore Raoul's flexing, running my paw over the jumpsuit on the mannequin. I get a feel for the imitation leather of the cropped jacket, the mask staring at me throughout with unblinking white eyes. It's kind of badass. Way better than the cosplay stuff Max is always looking at online. He'd be so jealous if I showed him this. Ready as I'll ever be.
There is one final thing from me.
The crow produces a little jewelry box from his breast pocket and hands it over to me.
I want you to have this. I made it with own hands based on design by Master Bravar.
You're not gonna propose, are you?
It is only a little welcome present.
Upon opening it, I find what appears to be a star-shaped pin inside. Is this some sort of gadget too? Milo shakes his head.
It is tongue-piercing attachment for use in costume.
Aww, you made it for me?
Only to keep identity somewhat secret.
You really do care, huh, Mimi?
The crow makes a sound halfway between a growl and a surprised squawk.
Do not push it.
They try to act professional, but they sound like an old married couple bickering sometimes. It's kind of endearing. It's cute. Thanks, Milo. He nods, feathers bristling. He looks adorable like this. All right, let's get this show on the road. I'm overcome with a surreal sensation when I see myself in the reflective metal walls. I'm not looking at Alex Leroy anymore, but someone else entirely. I turn looking at myself every which way. Stretch my legs, tighten the belt around my waist. God, my ass looks kinda great in this getup.
How is it, Spot?
I'm beginning to see the appeal. My phone vibrates. The material of the jumpsuit is so thin it tickles my legs.
Who is calling?
I put my finger to my muzzle and pick up. Took you long enough! It's a relief to hear them shouting at me again. Lou, are you alright? What's the situation out there? There's guys with weapons running around the halls. Where'd you go? And I tried to find you, but it's like you went off the map. I thought I told you to stay put and at the exhibit. There is another person at gallery? I heard someone scream. They might have gotten the curator lady. I have to do something, Al. You could end up hurt. So I'll pick myself back up. What if they kill her? No, listen. I'm the one who got you into this mess. I'm gonna get you out. Just hold on. They're coming. I gotta run. I rub my temples. As if the situation needed to get any worse.
Spot, what's going on?
I only now notice I'm hyperventilating. Don't freak out, okay? I took someone with me to the gallery.
You did what?
You absolute imbecile. I didn't want it to end up like this. I thought it would just be... What? Fun day out in park. He narrows his eyes. I can feel my cheeks get even hotter, and the pit starts to form in my stomach. I really messed up, didn't I? I figured it'd help me stand out less, and I was scared of going alone.
You should have told us.
You put the innocent person in danger. I know. I do not think you know. Once again, we fight real criminals. You came close to dying at store only 1 week ago. Do not invite others to share that fate. I want to sink underground. Well, even deeper underground and disappear. But all I can do is meet his eyes with my own. I know I fucked up, but I need your help. Is your friend safe? They seemed okay, but they said Fenna might be in trouble. They're going after her. Situation is most urgent. We will discuss lack of common sense later.
Correct. If there's a civilian stuck at the gallery, there's not a moment to lose. Let's go and save our friend's Spot.
What's the best way to get back up there?
By car, I am afraid. Secret passage only goes one way.
The look he gives his boss is one I haven't seen since I got terminated at my old job.
This is why I told you not to press button.
I grab the grappling gun and turn to the slide. There might be another way. You got one of these too, Roll?
Only a prototype. Oh, I see what you're planning.
We'll just go back the way I came.
It's a good infiltration point. Hell of a climb, though.
We don't have another option. I aim up and squeeze my eyes shut, aiming the gun up at the dark void in front of me. Like this?
Like that. Now just pull the trigger.
I swallow, and after rethinking my entire life, as well as what led me up to this point, I decide to follow through. For Lou. I squeeze the trigger. It's not working.
Is mechanism jammed?
It should work fine. Try again.
I finally opened my eyes again. I'm still standing here in the computer room. I feel almost weirdly relieved. Hate to tell you this, boss, but maybe you should take this one back to the drawing board. Ah! Suddenly, I'm catapulted forward into the darkness. I'm sick to my stomach. I'm going faster upwards than I ever did going down. Holy shit, holy shit! I must resist. Urge to vomit rising. Something clicks and my momentum slows. I'm left dangling for a moment before I pull myself up and clamber over the ledge I've found myself at. I pull the trigger of the gun again, and it detaches itself from the wall cord and retracting on its own. I look over my shoulder. The slide gets less vertical from here, but I still have a lot of ground to cover. It smells really musty here, like Max's room on Saturday levels of musty. Scratch that. The Han, when we were allowed to still smoke inside levels of musty. I can see some light coming in from the far end, through those rows and rows of tunnels leading into this place. I wonder where all of those go. Another grappling hook hits the wall behind me, yanking me back into reality and almost making me roll right down the slide again.
Whoa!
I hear footsteps coming up behind me, then laborious grunting as the boss struggles to pull himself up. Need a hand?
Please.
As I pull him up, I realize I hadn't considered how heavy he was before offering. Now I wish I reconsidered. I got you. There we go. He stands up, out of breath, and we both peer into the dark tunnels ahead.
And you thought it wouldn't work.
Pretty sure it shaved a couple years off my life. So how far is it?
It's going to be a little hike.
He claps my back.
But it's nothing this team can't handle.
Isn't it like on the other side of town? How'd I even drop down to the lair that fast?
These tunnels are very efficient.
That tells me nothing. I wish I was half as optimistic as this guy. My earpiece crackles and I hear Milo's voice. Are both of you still in world of living? Barely.
We're in tip-top shape, Raven 3. Over.
Raven 3?
I figured I'd give you a code name as well. What do you think of it? Over.
There was a moment of silence on the other end of the line. I am not Raven.
But it sounds mysterious, dashing, handsome. Over.
I am neither mysterious nor dashing. So he's not denying the handsome part. Naming sensibility leaves much to be desired. It will do for now. Goal is straight ahead from your location. Exercise caution and restraint.
Thank you. Over and out.
He nudges me and then tilts his muzzle into the darkness in front of us. We're here. I squeeze through the hole in the wall at the end of the tunnel and emerge in the bathroom stall. Raoul comes out behind me right before the mechanism activates and the wall rises up from the ground again, the toilet returning to its usual position. Everything's back to normal. It's almost kind of creepy. With the door still locked, it's very, very cramped. While this stall looks like it was made for larger species, they probably didn't take multiple people into account. Raoul's practically got me pinned against the door. Not that I mind terribly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you mind getting the door? I can't reach the lock from here.
Of course, just let me. I take my time trying to find the doorknob. On purpose. He doesn't need to know. He smells good. That ought to do it.
Thank you. Raven 3, we have touched ground in the men's room. Over.
That is good. If possible, try to stay hidden from enemy, then engage in ambush. We're gonna fight guys with weapons? That is accurate assessment. You do want to save friend and Miss Fenna, do you not? Normally, I would suggest avoiding combat situation, but that is not always option. All right. I'm not sure I'll survive this, but I have to try. We inconspicuously sneak into the hallway, which is empty now. Empty and dead silent. I'm getting some haunted museum vibes. Rollo's company doesn't make me feel any less off. At least the art's still on the walls.
Isn't it amazing, Spot? We get to stop an actual art heist.
I'm pretty nervous, actually.
Nervous? Why? You'll do great. They won't know what hit them.
Aren't you scared at all?
A true hero of justice trusts in his abilities, his tools, and his companions. We have everything at our disposal to win this. Just stick with me.
I'd be lying if I said his ludicrous amounts of confidence aren't at least a little infectious. And maybe he's faking this thing just as hard as I am. He beckons me down the hall and I follow. Every noise I hear makes me jump, and I aim the grappling gun at every shadow I see. Eventually, Roll sidles up to a corner, and I crouch down next to him.
Arr, most of this junk ain't even worth the trouble, Polly.
I know that voice all too well. Been in my nightmares all week. I peek around the corner and see the Barracuda standing next to the parrot janitor from before. Guess we weren't the only ones to change clothes.
The junk can't wait we're here, Ishmael. Right. We be here for that spotty straggler.
Are they talking about me? I want to say something, but Rule shushes me.
No shenanigans. Captain only wants him tossed out. I figured, but I can still have a little fun while we be at it. Got a mighty score to settle. If the cap gets cross, you will be on your own. A risk I be willing to take. You did say he ran starboard, didn't he, matey? Right as rain, he did. Down the hall, then starboard. Are you sure you didn't mess up your directions again, Ishmael? Starboard be left, correct? Starboard be your right, you fool. It'd be left. Right. Left. Right. Consarn it. Why can't we not just say left and right? This is why you still be cabin boy, and I be the captain's right-hand man. Don't you mean starboard hand man?
Rule slowly crouches closer and beckons me to follow. I move as quietly as I can while the two continue their increasingly inconsistent pirate bickering. This is perfect. They're so loud they'll never hear us.
Strife of Life is the most recent work of the renowned painter Ludwig Jan Vixhoff.
What deity did I anger to deserve this kind of bad luck? Earl and I take cover behind the corner again. The audio tour is so loud the fish and parrot duo immediately look over at the painting.
Did you do that, Ishmael? Nah, I didn't think so.
It depicts the struggle between nature and machine.
Make it stop. I don't know how.
Roll beckons me, jumping out from behind the corner. They've still got their backs turned to us.
Halt, evildoers!
I swear on me bones, this be the last time I'd be taking you anywhere. Like ye be any fun to be around.
The boss clears his throat.
I said halt, evildoers.
Yeah. Can it wait for a bit? We're in the middle, so. Yeah! You're the fucker. Ye be the landlubber from the store.
That's right. It is I, the Dawn Hound.
Be you for real?
The parrot burst out laughing.
This be the man who sent you home crying, Ishmael?
Throwing pirates overboard is a little hobby of mine.
Well, ye won't be so lucky this time, sailor. You may be rather large, and have muscles larger than a frigate.
He looks Roll up and down.
And be rather handsome. But it'd still be 2 against 1.
Roll pulls me out of the shadows, and all of a sudden I'm staring down 2 extremely dangerous and most likely armed men. They stare at me like I'm some sort of oddity. Dusk has come. I flex. Judging by the look on their faces, it doesn't particularly impress.
Great entrance spot. Though I'd say your posing needs some work. Try something like this.
He strikes a pose himself, and while I maintain uncomfortable eye contact with the parrot.
This one wasn't there last time. They have a 2-for-1 at the freak store.
Funny, I was about to say the same thing. How many curtains did you need to sew together to make that pirate get up?
At least mine ain't made of rubber, you scallywag.
He takes a deep breath and slicks the feathers on top of his head back.
Now, happy thoughts, Polly, happy thoughts. Calm as the waves.
The barracuda turns to him.
Deal with the waves. What are ye be waiting for, Polly? Let's get 'em. Now, you know how I feel about getting me nails dirty, Ishmael. I just had myself a mani-pedi, and me psychiatrist said...
He does have really pretty nails.
And here I thought you were a bird of paradise, or whatever the 7 seas you call it. Turns out you're just a big chicken. What did you call me? A chicken.
Your friend has a point there.
That's it. I've had it. You want violence? I'll give you violence.
Come at us, fiend.
The parrot charges towards us with a screech that could shatter glass, the barracuda hot on his heels.
Okay, Spot. Let's knock some heads together.
Easy for you to say. What do I do? I could not be less prepared for this if I tried. Think, Al, think. A true hero trusts his tools, his abilities, and his companions. While Raoul enters a fighting stance, I aim my grappling gun down the hall just past them. I hope this works. I squeeze the trigger and immediately surge toward as the hook speared onto the wall. Dusk strike! I tuck in my legs, only have a second to regret the choices that led me here before kicking the 2 thieves as hard as I can. They fly backwards, hitting the ground in perfect sync. Unfortunately, I haven't figured out how to stop this thing yet, and I soon follow, smacking against the wall hard. Ow!
Spot, are you okay?
I am most decidedly not. My back. At least this time I have no one but myself to blame.
That was quite a stunt you pulled. You knocked them out cold.
Guess I did. I squeeze the trigger again, yanking the hook from the wall, and then I collapse. I'm starting to like this thing.
Mr. Ahab, sir. I found this cat prancing about in the halls. Let me go.
Oh, another straggler, eh?
What should we do with him?
Tie him up and put him in the brig with the curator, come on. We can't have you interlopers swimming about, har, har, har.
You can't be serious. By brig you mean what, exactly?
Janitor's closet.
How droll.
We went over this in your orientation, lad.
You're assuming I even understood half of what you were saying.
Listen to your captain, rookie, or you'll be joining them, and no mistake. Did you take care of the little dress like I asked you to?
The dress is safe and sound, from
remarkably heavy, by the way. If you think I'm putting up with any of your shit, it would be in your best interest to comply, cat. Or what? I have 7 children waiting for me back home, and they have sharper teeth than you. As a matter of fact, I could do far worse than that.
Dawn has come to vanquish the night. The jig is up, Ahab. Let that civilian go.
As I heroically attempt to dash onto the scene, I come face to chest with the very large janitor from before. Except he's somehow wearing even less this time. Then it hits me. You're Ahab? I turn to roll. This is Ahab?
In the flesh, laddie. You be just in time to join this mutineer here in the brig while we abscond with the poxy gown.
Not if we have anything to say about it. Right spot.
Big whale man. Huge whale man.
Spot?
Honestly, as far as experiences go, big man hitting on me turned out to be a supervillain isn't even the worst thing that's happened to me. I could work with that. I can fix him.
Spot?
Right. I guess I'm here to kick his ass. His round, toned, beautiful ass.
Spot!
Right. Are you alright, citizen? Hal, is that you under there?
Yeah, no, it's Duskhound, champion of justice.
Why are you wearing... What is that? Is that a collar?
It's my uniform, citizen.
Uniform? You look like a clown. I have to agree with your companion. Your choice of fashion, and I use that term lightly, leaves much to be desired.
I mean, let my friend go, you villain.
Quite frankly, you look like you fell down a flight of stairs at a thrift store and hit every bargain rack on the way down. That's kind of harsh, but... I'm being constructive here, but you may not shop elsewhere in the future for all our sakes. Lou, you might want to duck. We lock eyes for a second before they dive out of the way, leaving plenty of room for the barrel of my grappling gun to connect with the chameleon's head. Ow! At the very least, it gives him a cause to let him go. He clutches his face and dramatically spins in place. You ingrate! You hit my nose! Oh, and the surgery scars had just healed! I tip my muzzle towards Lou. Fetch the curator and get out of here while you still can, citizen. There's trouble brewing. Alex? Whoa! Secret identity. Don't cause a scene. Right. I'll head off. Just stay safe, okay? You know how bad I am at following your advice? A powerful hand grips my shoulder, and the next thing I know, I'm flung through the air head first. I have a split second to question my life before my sudden flight is rudely interrupted by the Rottweiler I crash into.
Hate to break up your touching moment and all, but our ship's about to set sail and we've no use for stowaways.
The last thing I hear is the chameleon's chuckle echoing through the gallery. Are you sure he's okay? He does seem rather out of it, doesn't he? Ow.
Fear not. Dusttown has faced far greater challenges than this.
You know, you don't have to keep up the act.
No, sorry. Force of habit.
My head is still spinning. What happened?
Ah, you've come to. Excellent.
Did we win? Honestly, no.
It could have gone other way, really.
I sit up. Feels like I got hit by a train. He didn't hurt you, did he? After you guys got knocked out, they said what they had what they came for and kind of just left. It was pretty anticlimactic. Your friend ended up rescuing me from my unfortunate predicament in the janitor's closet. Gotta love the way this woman makes getting locked in a closet sound like a minor inconvenience.
You really had no idea your janitors were villains the entire time?
We hired them through a reputable temp agency, I'll have you know. Rest assured, I'll have a long conversation with them once this is all over. There was one other thing. They tip their muzzle to one of the hallways from which Milo emerges. So much for our whole secret identity thing.
Perimeter seems clear. No other valuables stolen.
He pushes his glasses up to his beak.
Thank you for checking, Milo.
You can thank me by being more careful in future, yes? I see Duskhound has regained consciousness as well.
Just about. When did you get here?
Had suspicion you might not be able to handle threat after communication went silent. It would seem I was right.
Way to rub salt in the wound.
Fortunately, you yet to live. Unfortunately, Money Talks Gowns has disappeared.
Then we'll go after it.
Do not be so hasty. Attacking Syndicate without plan is much like hitting head against wall, repeatedly. You will only end up with headache.
Then how do we get the gown back? Our exhibition simply cannot continue without the star of the show. We will have to get it back somehow.
We will go after the rest, but we will prepare and approach mission with caution.
The crow glares intently at Raoul and me. Where do you meet these guys, Al? It's a long story. Milo turns to Lou and Fenna, his expression much softer.
We will tell you another time. We have objective to complete.
He takes a bow. Can you get back to safety from here? I'm pretty sure I can make it across the street. I'll accompany you. I could use a bit of fresh air. Great. I'm sure Lily still needs someone to blow balloons. Balloons? Oh, you've never been to the Han? Can't say I have, but I'd love to join you. It sounds fascinating. All right. I'll catch you later, Alex. Good luck, Mr. DeRoy, and be careful. Lou looks back as the two of them walk away, confusion and annoyance plain on their face. I know that look. They're gonna grill me something fierce. There's so much I wish I could say right now, but I do have a job to complete, and we messed up royally. Once they're out of sight, I turn back to Raoul and Milo. So how are we gonna find the Syndicate now? And hey, I'm gonna take a stop there. Oh, wow. So, first mission as Duskhound and Dawnhound, the dynamic duo, and they screwed up. I gotta say, Alex having the hots for pretty much everyone, it's
kind of bizarre in the life or death situation. But yeah, oh man, I'm here for it. I'm glad we got to see a little bit more of the whole saltwater crew. And oh my gosh, some of the transitions here from the whole magical girl-esque Alex transformation to Camo, who just got knocked out and lost all of it. Oh my gosh, this is I love this VN. So yeah, I'm having fun, and I hope everyone else is having fun. This has been Fritz-Ay Says, and everyone have a nice day. Ciao.